How does it make you feel when you see Mark Zuckerberg and all these billionaires creating these nuclear bunkers?
Whoever's in their bunker is working on a backup generator, and that backup generator has only so much fuel. And if you can't pump fuel ever again, you suffocate in your nuclear bunker. You just explode a nuclear weapon 300 miles above Oklahoma, and goodbye the power grid.
Who survives?
Who would want to survive? In essence, 5 billion people will die after a nuclear exchange. The people that die in the minutes and hours of the fireballs, the fallout, and then the nuclear winter. You'd have like this small group of people who would essentially become hunter-gatherers again, because you'd have to be an advanced prepper with military training to be able to survive in a world without agriculture.
Kalalau Malak Yahweh, Wa Yahushai Bahashem, Rachak Kodash. Double honors to the elders of Jim Ruel, blessings unto those men, and blessings and salutations to the Akim out there in truth, pushing his word in all sincerity and in honesty. With that being said, Shalom Israel Barakatah, today's lesson: bunkers are useless when the bombardment begins. So in other words, bunkers are useless upon modern day Babylon the Great when the bombardment of the 200 million missiles begin. That's why the lady of the short video went on to say that whoever is in their bunkers working on a backup generator, and that backup generator has only so much fuel. And if you can't pump fuel ever again, you suffocate in your nuclear bunker. And that's the reason why many billionaires are burying their wealth in bunkers outside of Babylon the Great, because they know of her utter judgment. And here we have a short paragraph under people also ask, what billionaires own bunkers? It goes on to say, numerous billionaires, including Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Oprah Winfrey, Richard Branson, and Larry Page, have bought large chunks of land on islands. What's even more surprising is that many such properties have underground tunnels leading to bunker-like structures. And when celebrities go out of their way to buy bunkers upon the islands, it's because they know of the utter judgment of Babylon the Great that's to come upon her. Babylon the Great in these times, it's not referring to ancient Iraq, but it's in reference to modern day America, according to the scriptures. And due to the current wars and high tensions that are upon the world right now, the wealthy continue to prepare bunkers worldwide with food, weapons, ammunition, and other supplies for the coming catastrophic times. And when all hell breaks loose around the world, the banking elite families around the world will hide in their mountainous regions, in their oceanic facilities, and in their deep underground bunkers, their dumbs, fulfilling the prophecy of Amos 9:2 and 3. Amos 9 and 2. Though they dig into hell, then shall my hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. Though they dig into hell, meaning into their dumbs, which stands for deep underground military bases. But they shall also hide in many other places of refuge, mountainous regions, ocean facilities, etc. Right, and I say etc. because ever since the Cold War, Switzerland has maintained a unique policy, which is every citizen must have access to a shelter space. And this is in Switzerland. This led to the construction of over 300,000 bunkers tucked beneath homes, schools, hospitals, and mountain rock. And some are small family shelters. As it goes on to say here in this small paragraph, though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. That speaks of the Lord bringing them down from their international space station of refuge. The Lord shall bring them down from their region of space. And once Edom went into a certain portion of space to establish his satellites and international space station, they now went from functional families to dysfunctional families. Not only will they hide from the coming destruction, but they shall also hide from the presence of the Lord. Even though the elites have operational facilities in the states, most will ride out the storm, that war and indignation of the Lord, Yahweh Wayoshai, in other countries. The elites will ride out the storm in the domes of the other countries. Right, because the scriptures have also said that the ships of the Lord, those chariots of the Lord, will come in like a violent storm, like a whirlwind. No one has more underground facility or domes than Finland and Switzerland. There are bunkers worldwide, but Switzerland alone has built the most bunker fortresses worldwide. Switzerland has over 374,142 bunkers in existence to this day. Amos 9:3. And though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. The Lord Yahweh Yahushua will take them from all the mountainous regions, and even if they are hidden from his sight at the bottom of the sea, from there he will send the serpent, and he will bite them. So the Lord basically has all angles covered. And there is no place to run and no place to hide from the eyes and judgment of the Lord, Yahweh Yahushai. The eyes of the Lord, Yahweh Yahushai, according to the scriptures, are his angels, beholding the good and the evil. But when it comes to Babylon the Great, those bunkers are useless when the bombardment begins. Once the smoke clears, the Lord, Yahweh Yahushai, will use the Lord's chosen to take them captives. Right. The enemies of Israel in those facilities will serve the nation of Israel as servants and as handmaids, pursuant to the scripture of Isaiah 14:2. And the elites will survive in those underground facilities to fulfill the scripture of Psalms 149, verse 8 and 9. But they shall do so in the other bunkers of the other countries. And here we have that scripture of Psalms 149 and verse 8, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. This is in reference to those people in these worldwide underground facilities or wherever else they may be found. These bunkers, worldwide bunkers. The same way that the Edomites needed a workforce to build their cities, that will be the same exact way that the Israelites will need a workforce to build theirs. It will be easy and simple for Israelites to build being in spiritual power. But according to the scriptures, judgment must play out upon those that came against the true people of the Lord, Yahweh Yahushai. Psalms 149 and verse 9. To execute upon them the judgment written, this honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. The saints are Israelites. This is the perfect will and righteous balance of the Lord, Yahweh Yahushai, for the things done unto the true nation of Israel. Remember that Psalms 83 went on to say that they were in league to cut us off from being a nation. The word saint means holy, and it's in reference to Israelites. What made Israelites a special people unto the Lord, Yahweh Yahushua was the law, statutes, and commandments in which he gave us. This in turn made us separate from among the rest of these heathen nations. And during the Lord's righteous anger, the slain of the Lord, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua shall be many, according to the scripture of Isaiah 66:15 and 16. And if you take a look at that scripture of Isaiah 66:15 and 16, that is a future prophecy that is given in the Old Testament that's about to occur. As soon as they pass that CHIP of Revelation 13:16 through 18, that third world war of utter destruction cometh quickly. First cometh the CHIP of Revelation 13 and 16, and then cometh that third world war of destruction quickly. The Lord shall lay that modern day land of Babylon the Great waste and without an inhabitant. It shall be desolate and without inhabitants. As it says in Jeremiah 51 and verse 29. It shall be a complete wasteland. Once the arrows get done with it, it shall become a wasteland and a desert full of wild birds as soon as the smoke clears. But the scripture did say that it shall become desolate and without inhabitants. And here the people also ask, it says, what is the definition of wasteland? Definition: land not used or not usable, a barren or empty area of land. Wasteland is land that is naturally unfavorable for land associated human activities. It cannot be used for cultivation under any conditions. Right, in this case, because it shall be left as an example for the people to see and how not to live. To not live in wickedness. And when it comes to the men of the Lord, they shall remember the destruction upon their minds. So you see, those bunkers are useless when it comes to the bombardment. Revelation 9 and 16, and the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them. This scripture speaks of 200 million missiles. Many missiles capable of carrying multiple warheads inside of that one missile alone. For example, the Russian Sarmat and the Chinese missile. Right, the Dongfeng 61. That Dongfeng-61, which is capable of carrying multiple warheads in its nose cone. Revelation 9 and 17, and thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire and of jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone. Real horses running in the pastures are not capable of shooting forth fire out of their mouths. This scripture is talking about the deadly effects of a nuclear detonation. The heads of the horses speaks of those nuclear warheads of destruction. And these missiles represent the destruction and the end of this wicked generation of civilization at hand. And the real prophets of the Lord, Yahweh, Yahushai, that are stationed in these four corners of the earth are warning you of that great tribulation to come and of the destructive third world war to come in these last days. An inevitable third world war is about to take place as soon as that mandatory CHIP comes into effect. And when it comes to those missiles, they shall not miss. That's the Lord's sword. when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. And those bunkers are useless because those 200 million missiles shall keep striking and striking and striking. And when something strikes more than once and keeps striking and striking, that's going to just chip away at the land. So the scripture of Jeremiah 51 and verse 29 has said, shall become desolate and without inhabitants. So there goes your bunkers of refuge upon modern day Babylon the Great. But with that being said, Kaulallah Malak Yahweh, Wa Yahushai Bahashem Rachak Wadash, and double honors to the elders of GMS Ruel, blessings unto those men, and blessings and salutations to the Akim out there in truth, pushing his word in all sincerity and in honesty. With that being said, Shalom Israel, Brakta, Shalom.